Welcome to another episode of Ben and John Do Cars. What are we looking at today, Ben?
It's right in front of you, mate. Caterham 310R. Spoiler alert, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Bit of context then. So the lovely people at Caterham have lent us this 310R for the weekend.
It's a beauty.
It's an absolute beauty. And so usually when we do these kind of reviews, you know, we might get a couple of hours in a car, we might get a day. But we've been driving this around now. This is the 4th day we've had it.
Yeah.
So we've got plenty of miles on it. We've driven it on the motorway, we've driven it on the lanes, we've driven it around town. We feel like we've gelled with it.
Yes.
So we can give you an honest review. Neither of us have driven a Caterham before or anything like this sort of style.
Caterham first timers, aren't we?
Yeah, Caterham virgins. That is how you wake up on a Sunday morning.
Mate, it's so good.
It's so good, isn't it? Let's delve into why.
Well, we're talking classic design with the Caterham.
Yes.
You know, 1950s, the Caterhams were first invented, let's say.
Yeah, so
but they weren't Caterham back then, they were Lotus.
Yeah.
So it was the Lotus 7.
Oh yeah.
Then over time, Caterham bought the rights off Lotus for the 7 and have been developing them
Pretty much ever since.
And what you see today in this version is a fully fledged Caterham. You know, this is built by Caterham, all the suspension work and all that sort of stuff is designed by Caterham. The engine that's put into it, Caterham has specifically picked. So yeah, it's powered by a 1.6 Ford Duratec engine with 150-ish horsepower. Let me tell you, 150 horsepower in today's build doesn't seem a lot. However, this car only weighs about 500 kilos.
Yeah.
So when you tie those things together, you get about 300 horsepower per ton, which makes this an absolute bloody riot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we haven't been able to take it on track, but I imagine if you take this on track, this would be flipping wicked.
Yeah, I'm gutted we weren't able to.
Yeah, same here. Maybe next time. Looking at the stats and the figures and things, 0 to 60, this is about 4.8, I think this is the book. Let me tell you, that is plenty. When you're this low down and you get this low to the road, you can smell everything, you can hear everything, it's plenty enough. Whoa! Oh, yes! Nice. Yes.
That light flywheel with the heel and toes is so good. After having spent a couple of days with this now, we are both fully in love with it, to the point where we're looking at eBay listings for older second-hand Caterhams. Like, it's that good.
Yeah, it's addictive.
In terms of a driving experience, in terms of the act of driving a vehicle, I think this is about the best car I've ever driven.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. You know,
cliche, but this is a go-kart for the road.
Yeah.
You've heard people say that about many other cars, but my God, it rings true in this. Whoa! Wow.
Any type of road, it doesn't matter. It's so much fun. Motorway is a bit of a faff, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's a bit loud. It's perfectly comfortable still.
Also, the visibility through the mirrors is not particularly great.
True.
Those mirrors are very like zoomed in, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. But apart from that, any road around town, great fun. Country lanes, great fun. Wee roads, great fun. Ring roads, great fun.
Whoa!
Everything is so immediate. Steering, immediate. Throttle response, immediate. God, I freaking love it.
So do I do.
There's a few different models in the Caterham lineup. The 310 is kind of their mid-range model. There's a few lower powered ones and there's a few fucking mental ones.
Yeah.
But the 310 is kind of the mid-range. And you can get to, there's a 310S, 310R. Which way we got, Barbara?
Okay, look, this is the R.
This is the R. So the S is more road focused, the R is more track focused, because the guys at Caterham clearly knew that we're so hardcore that we can take the R. So basically you get carbon fibre seats, 4-point harnesses, a lightened flywheel, which is phenomenal. I think that's about it really. The sort of engine stuff is basically the same between the two models. It's just yeah, the R is a bit more track focused, which is crazy to say in something like this. Like I say, usually we get a car for maybe a day if we're lucky. Usually it's like less than that. So we have to kind of drive it and try and figure out what the deal is, all while trying to make a video and make it reasonably interesting. Usually we fail.
First impressions in that moment, you know, 2 hours. Our first impression is the last impression. Sometimes that could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got to know the car, we haven't got to find the limits of it, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So we come away thinking some cars are actually either better than they are or worse than they are. And we always think, oh, I wonder what that was like if we had it for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas, like we said earlier in the video, we got this for 4 days. We've had it for 4 days now. My God, it's gone from like strength to strength.
When you first get in it, you're thinking, right, okay, it's lightweight, it's reasonably powerful, it's going to be, you know, it's track focused, so it's going to be spiky, it's going to be intimidating, it's going to be sort of a bit skittish, but it's not.
It's none of that.
Within a day of having it, you feel at one with it. Everything makes sense. The controls, the weird controls like the freaking indicators on a toggle switch and the headlights on toggle switches and then not being any radio or anything else like that. It all just sort of starts to make sense, and you feel like it's a bit of a cliche thing to say, but you feel like an organic part of the machine.
Yeah.
And everything you do, all your controls have a direct input with what the car's doing on the road.
Absolutely.
It's fucking brilliant. Yourself of your boring day-to-day job, don't do it. Let's buy one of these, because I'll tell you what, in the sun on a day like today,
it's pretty good.
Even just cruising about, it's such an occasion, it's so nice, it's just so pleasant.
Nothing more thrilling than working a naturally aspirated engine to its limit and really feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, you've really got to work it, you've got to rev it. This car loves to be revved from 5,000 all the way up to about 7,000. That power is on.
Yeah.
It is on. And it roars at you. Like, it really sounds really cammy, it's really roaring at you.
Yeah.
And my God, it's a pleasure, isn't it?
It really is, it genuinely is.
Just makes you want to put your foot down all of the time.
And again, because it's not too much, because it's 150 horsepower, although it is really quick, it's still within the realm of usable performance. You know, you don't need to be going 1,000,000 miles an hour to really enjoy it. It's so good.
And because of that, you
take abuse all day long, and it just loves it, just laps it up.
Yeah.
It's always constantly goading you to go harder and go faster, and it just takes it.
Yeah. There's none of this kind of like you're feeling bad after driving it hard.
Yeah.
None of that, because you know it can take it. This way about it.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yes. This car only speaks one language, and that is going hard.
Yeah. So to conclude,
Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
if the question is, how good is the Caterham 310R? The answer is extremely, exceptionally,
Exquisite.
fantastically good.
Amazing.
There is not a driving experience you can get for anywhere near the price of this that comes close to it.
No.
It's phenomenal, and we love it.
We absolutely love it. We've had the best time ever driving this car, and I can't recommend it enough to anybody that is looking for something like this, a track-worthy car that you can also drive on the road and just get so much thrill from for your money.
Yeah. If you've got the money and you're in the market, go and buy one. If you don't have the money but you still want to experience it, go and rent one somewhere. Go take one on a track. Go and do something. You need to drive this car. It's so good. So good.
So good.
Clearly, we want to say a massive thank you to the guys at Caterham for setting this up.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you to Henry, who set up the loan for us. Thank you to Ben, who is a legend, who works at the Crawley dealership, who sort of handed over to us and explained how to do everything.
Yeah.
Everyone was super friendly, super enthusiastic. You can tell they all love their job and the company they work for. And the cars are sick. And they didn't need to lend us this for 5 days. I mean, at the end of the day, who the fuck are we?
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that usual stuff.
Also, check out our Facebook page. We've been putting a lot more sort of video content on Facebook, sort of behind the scenes stuff and little sort of skits and things like that.
We've got some stuff on our Instagram as well, so give that a follow. And yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching. Thanks Caterham again for giving us this opportunity. See you on the next one.
Yeah! Oh, also, we filmed 2 more videos with the Caterham that we'll put in the link, and also will be on the screen somewhere, so watch those as well.
Yeah, for real. Peace. Woo!
Woo! Yeah! I thought you build me up,
Buttercup, baby, just to let me down. Mess me around, and then worst of all,
the GoPro dies every 10 fucking minutes.
cause the battery life shit. I need you, another battery. Please come to my life.
Okay.
GoPro.
Prick, prick, you're a prick, I'm a prick, everyone's a prick, prick.